Have you ever watched somebody walk into a room and instantly command attention without saying a word? That magnetic quality that make heads turn and people listen. Here's a plot twist. You might already have this power within you, but just not know it. Ladies, for all you queens out there who are new to this channel, I'm Naomi and this is the Diary of Naomi, where we teach you that your presence is your power. Today we're going to be delving into the subtle signs that prove that you're a high value woman, even if you don't realise it yet. And trust me, by the end of this video you'll see yourself in a whole different light. So let's start with something that happened to me last week. So last week I was in a coffee shop and I overheard these two women speaking. So one of them was she was talking so much. She was naming all these different designer bags, shoes, perfumes and all this other stuff that she owned. It was almost like she was trying to prove her worth. And the other just sat there sipping her coffee, unbothered, completely at ease with herself. And guess who everybody in the coffee shop was drawn to? Yes, you guessed right. The quiet one. And you want to know why? Because true value isn't about what you own, it's about who you are. So firstly, let's talk about confidence and self-worth. The first sign you're a high value woman. Do you want to know? You don't need external validation to know your worth. Pay attention. This isn't about being loud or demanding attention. It's about those quiet moments when you stand by your decisions even though they're unpopular, say no without feeling guilty, and accept compliments with a simple thank you rather than deflecting. Let me share something personal with you. Around 2 years ago, I used to be sorry for everything. Like seriously, I used to always say sorry, and I used to even catch myself thinking, why am I saying sorry all the time? I was constantly apologising, even for existing in the same place as others. I know, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I know this probably sounds familiar. But here's what I noticed. Every time you apologise unnecessarily, you're telling the world that you don't deserve to take up space. And we all have the right and deserve to take up space. High value women understand that confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being perfectly comfortable with your imperfections. So now let's talk about independence. You might be a high value woman if you enjoy your own company. Your happiness isn't dependent on a relationship status. You have goals that excite you more than they scare you. And here's something that most people won't tell you. Being ambitious doesn't mean you have to be an owner of a Fortune 500 company. It doesn't mean that. It means you're constantly curious about becoming a better version of yourself. Maybe you're learning a new language, starting a new business, or finally writing that book. That's ambition. And I've been thinking about writing a book myself, you know. I've been thinking about it, but it scares me. I need to look into it, but I'd love to write a book. I feel like my life, I could write a whole book on my life, I'm telling you. And I probably will do it. So now let's move on to emotional intelligence and empathy. And this is where it gets interesting. You know you're a high value woman when you can disagree without being disagreeable. You listen to understand and not to respond. You can read a room and adjust your energy accordingly. Think about the last time someone hurt you. Did you A, immediately react, or B, take a moment to understand why you felt triggered? If you chose B, then congratulations. Your emotional intelligence is in action. So now let's move on to self-care and personal development. Let's talk about self-care, but not the Instagram kind of self-care where it's all about bubble baths and face masks. Even though they are nice too. Real self-care looks like setting boundaries without feeling guilty, investing in your growth, whether it's books, courses or therapy, taking care of yourself because you value yourself and not because society tells you to. So now let's move on to grace and poise. And you know what's fascinating? A high value woman can tell somebody to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the truth. That's grace. You might have this quality if you handle criticism with dignity, you can celebrate others' successes genuinely, and you remain calm in chaos. I remember about a year ago when I was at an event and somebody tried to publicly humiliate me. And you know what I did? Instead of reacting, I smiled, addressed the comment with dignity and moved on. Simple as that. And later on, around 3 people came up to me and said they admired the way I dealt with the situation. That's the power of grace. And here's the beautiful truth. Being a high value woman isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing your worth isn't up for negotiation. Knowing that elegant is an attitude and not a dress size. And knowing that power lies in how you treat yourself and others. So before clicking away from this video, I want you to do something. Take out your phone right now and write down 3 moments within the last week where you demonstrated these high value qualities. And I bet you'll surprise yourself, because a lot of the time we do these things without even realising it. So make sure you note it down, have a good think, and remember, you don't become a high value woman. You realise you've been one all along. And sometimes all it is that you need someone to hold up a mirror and show you what's already there. If this video resonated with you, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. And don't forget, your presence is your power. Bye for now. Mwah.